Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 291. It is me and my co-host, Jack, my son, back from university for a week off, so we're together in the same space again to talk about another week of wrestling. It'll be AEW Dynamite. It'll be NXT. That might be it. I don't really have any Raw
I don't
thoughts.
have anything else.
Some news, some rumors, some trivia, some banter, timestamps to whatever you would like to go find. And you will probably notice from his voice that he is not feeling well. I feel like since you've gone to university, every time you come home.
It's only been 2 times.
So every time.
No, I came home like at least once a month last term, and it was
Oh,
only
2
the first
times
time.
you've been sick home. Okay. I thought you were saying 2 times, the last 2 times. Yeah, so hopefully nobody else catches it. But so he may sound a bit off, but I think he's recovering somewhat. So we'll see how that sounds.
I hope we're on the tail end.
Yeah.
It feels like I am, but I don't know.
Yeah, so it felt old school. We walked to Booster Juice before we recorded, which is what we used to do like in the beginning when you were 12 years old or whatever it was. So that was kind of nice. Finished our Booster Juice, checked our news that is pretty
Terrible.
lacking this week, and then came down here to record. I'm going to try and keep it brief because you're not feeling well. So is there anything you want to discuss?
I haven't really done anything unless you've been doing stuff.
I have not really been doing stuff. Your brother's away at basketball, and as I explained on a few weeks ago, I am not allowed to go to these games right now. So
Yeah.
I'm serving a brief suspension from viewing my son playing basketball. Long story, you can check out, I don't know what episode it was, previous episode. But anyway, so we have the house to ourselves. We're going to get this done, and then we'll see. I'll probably head down to Mike's garage tonight to throw some darts.
We got Grand Slam, I guess.
Watch some Olympics. Grand Slam is on tonight. Well, I mean, it happened already, but it will be airing tonight. So we'll check some. We'll check it out at some point for sure. Might not be tonight, might be tomorrow, but we'll definitely watch it. We'll probably talk about that next week, right, on the episode.
We should probably say it now. We do need to try to get the worst stuff done this week since I'm here.
The initial plan was to get our worst stuff done while you were home this week, so let's try and do that.
As long as that follows through.
Okay. I should probably get on that this weekend then, because I actually have to work next week and you do not, so you'll have more time than I. But anyways, we'll try and do that. So I think we'll just leave that there, and we'll get right into talking about some wrestling. And every week it's the same thing first. It's looking at some of the week's wrestling news and rumors. Pretty slow news week, as we mentioned, so we'll see what we can pull out of this. I got so desperate I started looking at TNA stuff, so that's never a good sign. WrestleMania tickets, I was listening to Pollock and Thurston on the post. Sort of they go over more businessy stuff or like non-in-ring things. So they were talking about WrestleMania tickets. I was telling you on the ride home. Night 1 sales so far are down 14% for Mania, and Night 2 down 16%. So slight drop.
I saw they're also like unhappy with the sales, but then they plan to do nothing but the pricing.
Right. So
apparently the venues dropped or has been running a discount, but like no, WWE nothing on their end.
And even though they are selling fewer tickets, they are still charging more for them. So at the end of the day, we'll get the whole, it's our largest gate ever, and people will cheer that they got gouged, right, as we always say. So
yeah,
sales are down slightly. I don't even know if that's slightly. They might consider that significantly. I don't know, but they're down anyways, regardless.
I'm sure they'll be fine with it.
They will.
Another thing Mania related that I saw like earlier in the week was that Vegas bars are going to be blocked from airing.
Yeah, so they're basically doing a local blackout, right? So
which is the thing that like sports have done like
it is. It's related to those ticket sales because if they
that's what I thought, right? Like
they basically want if you're in the area of WrestleMania, you can't go to a bar or restaurant and watch it. They are saying you just need to suck it up and go, or stay home and watch it online, I guess, right?
On Netflix or no, I guess ESPN.
Yeah,
since
so
it's America.
Yeah, it's an attempt to sort of limit things being shown in bars, so people either have to just go buy tickets, I guess, would be the big plan. As I kind of predicted on the show, the WWE has officially filed a trademark for Birthright. So all but confirming that the new
group of
Lexus King group will, in fact, we've talked about it on here. I think that's a cool name, considering that's what they're trying to gather all second or whatever, at least second generation wrestlers. So I think that's kind of a cool name.
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. I think it's...
Now, we'll see with who it looks like is in the group if they can ascend beyond like a mid-card group. But again, mid-card heels are my favorite. So if they're a good mid-card heel faction, I'm cool with that.
I think it would have been interesting to see how Ava would have interacted with them, considering she's...
Right. That kind of would have been cool if she stayed and then she can be like showing favoritism because
or
she's
not,
one of them.
and they're trying to get her to.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, but
it wouldn't be acted well. So maybe.
sorry,
there's no point.
who's Ava? Who's this
Right.
Ava you refer? She shall not be mentioned anymore ever. I don't think. It's like
Right.
she didn't exist.
It's also a slow week if I'm talking about New Japan. Suji and Drilla Maloney re-signed.
I saw a thing related saying that there was interest in Drilla in North American companies, which I believe.
I mean,
that.
if you're interested in Dave Finley, you're probably interested in most people.
Yeah, true. And I didn't, and that's good signings for them. Like Suji, obviously they have to
They're
sign.
champion right now.
And Drilla is good. I think. Like I don't know. I don't have a problem with them.
At least they're keeping one of the War Dogs, considering they just dropped Connors.
Yes,
And then I would assume Gabe Kidd's not long for New Japan either,
I would
considering
think.
how much he appears there. But I'm pretty sure.
Or he's got one of those contracts where he can do both. I don't know.
Yeah, either way. I'm pretty sure Connors is signed, though.
Yeah, I think it sure feels like it.
Which is nice. I like Connors.
Me too. He's been cooler since coming to AEW, definitely.
Yeah, or at least maybe just more visible, because I probably just hadn't watched a lot of his work.
Yeah. The only other thing I had was just to update. What was the TNA show last night? Something.
No Surrender, maybe? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that sounds right.
Sacrifice? I don't.
So Jody Threat won the Knockouts Battle Royal, so she gets a future TNA Knockouts World Championship match, which I think is deserved. She's someone they should feature. I think she's pretty cool and a good Canadian girl.
Yeah.
Not quite a close personal friend. We're friends with her parents.
Right.
Friends, if you, in our sense of the word, right? But not her. Did we talk to the parents, or were they just in front of us?
I think they were just near us.
Yeah, maybe they're not. Maybe they're just acquaintances at that point then. So happy for her. Trey Miguel retained the international title against, won it from Stax, right?
Yes.
But then
I forgot. Like, I saw Trey won the title. I was like, who's the champion?
and then they made up for losing that gold, that power couple, because Ariana Grace won the Knockouts title.
With the Cobra.
I didn't even see that with the Cobra. So
And, like, so they're doing a thing where, like,
yeah,
she's kind of apologizing to Santana and trying to make good with him, but, like, and then, like, she was complaining about, or, like, she was, like, upset about, like, being a failure and, like, whatever.
Yeah.
So then he gave her the title shot. So it's like, I feel like she's probably just, like, conning him.
I hope so.
But, like, I don't know. It's weird.
And then she could go and join Birthright.
I would think so. Well, she's kind of in it. It's
She
just
is.
like,
She is in it, and Stax is kind of there by association, I guess. So,
well, yeah, because he's the only one that's, like, not anything.
and that would explain the disconnect, because she's not a babyface on NXT, but she's exhibiting babyface
Yes.
behavior on TNA. So that would sort of, I imagine you're right.
I just saw him on Evolve. You could also bring Brooks Jensen into that. Isn't he Buchanan's kid?
Yes, so you could bring him into that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Bull Buchanan.
That's right.
I thought this was stupid.
I don't have anything else, by the way.
AJ Lee and Becky Lynch reportedly still planned for WrestleMania, even though they announced that match for Elimination Chamber.
So they're going to just run it back then?
Yeah. I mean, which they do love to do on, like, week-to-week television. They used to do that a lot. They used to do it on PLEs a lot, too. But, like, usually, if you're going to do a Mania rematch, it's a rematch of something from Mania, not a rematch, then you do it at Mania. Like, it feels counterintuitive. It's not, like, unheard of. I'm pretty sure Cena and Rusev did that in 2015. But, like, it just feels stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of...
It feels like the Chicago effect. It's like, normally they would save that match for Mania, but Chambers in Chicago, so gotta do the Punk AJ stuff. Gotta go
cash
all
in
out
on
that.
that there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and like, I also saw that World Heavyweight title number one contender Finn Balor's won like 2 singles matches since like 2023.
That sounds entirely possible and accurate.
I'm pretty sure it's true.
I'm starting to get more and more removed from WWE, so I don't really have many opinions on their stuff, because I didn't check out anything Raw this week, to be honest.
Well, and like the thing with the Balor match too is like, even if it was a regular match, I'd be like, there's no chance Balor's winning. But
No.
I would like to think there's some chance Balor's winning.
No.
But like, 1, Chicago, 2, it's the show before you're gonna do Punk Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Balor doesn't have a prayer.
Not a prayer, because that blows up whatever comes next, right?
So like, it's such a waste of Balor because he's just gonna lose again.
It is, but I mean, that's how it works. It's like Brody King's going to lose. You
Yeah,
have
but
to
like-
have the placeholder challengers, as we say.
Balor, like, pick someone who makes more sense then, because Balor hasn't been winning matches.
That's true.
And like, people want Balor to win, so why waste him here? Like, when there's like,
And at least Brody King had the story of he's killing jobbers,
And
and then
he
he
beat
killed
MJF,
MJF
yeah.
too. Yeah.
and like, yeah, at least Brody King's been winning, and it's like, Balor hasn't been winning, and also like, maybe there's the smallest chance Brody King could pull off an upset, even just on the basis of already winning. Balor, like he has no chance.
No chance.
The circumstances plus his recent record, it's like there's no hope for him. So it's kind of crazy.
The fact that the next match is already planned and they're not going to deviate
not
from it.
Even that it's already planned, but that like what the match is, right? Like it's like there's no chance.
No chance.
Then the last one is Braun Breaker underwent surgery for a serious hernia. Uncertain whether he'll be cleared for Mania. So that rumored match with Rollins is really in doubt. If you're not we don't know if either of them are going to be ready.
Apparently, it was flipping the table. They said. So I've had a hernia and had hernia surgery, and I honestly don't remember what my recovery time was.
Depends on because this one's like serious. So
I heard his was very close to emergency, which mine was not. Mine was like a scheduled whatever.
That could be a difference maker.
Too bad because he's in the midst of kind of being prominent, right, for the first time. So kind of bad timing. It may lead to some scrambling.
It might not have happened if he won the Rumble because I think it was like the whole bit was he's mad about not winning the Rumble and how that happened. But at the same time, I also saw like it was something he's dealing with, so maybe it would have had to happen eventually anyways.
Probably. I think so.
I don't know.
So they'll have to figure out what they're going to do instead because I imagine he was like prominently in the plans for Mania stuff, right?
I wonder what his plans. I feel like the plan would have been, since they didn't go with Breaker Punk again, I feel like the plan would have been him and Rollins.
Could have been, yeah.
But then again, we don't know if Rollins is good, so
true.
like
we'll never know
anymore.
Yeah, so things may have to change rapidly. That's it for news for you?
Yes.
All right, so we'll get into watching the show that, full transparency, we watched about, an hour and a half ago, probably?
A couple hours, probably now.
So it should be fresh in my mind, and that is AEW Dynamite. All right, remind me about what I just watched not long ago.
Indeed. This was in Ontario, Canada, right?
Which always gets us because it says Ontario, CA, which I know isn't the short form for Canada. It's CAN, but
it's just like
I remember when you were younger, it got you by surprise. You're like, "What? It's in Ontario, CA, Canada."
It's also like that's not how they would like say Toronto or
no. It's Toronto, Ontario, Canada. But see, maybe it's a typo, and we would be there. Also, is the tip off if it were in Ontario, Canada, depending.
I was saying, I mean, the rumors a while back were we're getting Wrestle Dream if Edge is retiring, so hopefully that.
Yep, we'll be there for that if
it's Ontario, CAN.
Right.
Anyways, we kick off with Omega and Swerve Strickland, who I got here, face to face after what happened last week with the aftermath in the Andrade match.
Right.
And Shivani's in there too, kind of facilitating it for a bit, but he kind of eventually is like a non-factor.
Yeah, he doesn't have much once they get going.
Swerve has some things to get off his chest. He talks about how Omega was on top 5 years ago, and everyone was trying to claw at AEW to get to him, and that himself included. When he finally got to the top after 2 years, Omega was nowhere to be found. But Omega would pop up here and there, like Tokyo Dome, or when they were teaming in Anarchy in the arena last year. When he's around, Omega's always suspended or in a hospital bed. He says now Omega wants to walk back in feeling in great shape and be in title contention with the rest of them, so he wonders if he's using his EVP status to get in. And he says he's dealt with EVPs for the last 2 years, and he dealt with that last summer. If Omega's using his power to step in front of him, he'll put him down. Omega says he never called himself the God of Pro Wrestling. The people gave him that name, and they know that they'll get the best when he's wrestling. He says it may be Swerve's house, but nobody's home, and if he needs someone to burn down the house, he has a friend with experience. He says he's been feeling good, and he doesn't need EVP influence, and he would have won last week if it weren't for Swerve. He's not asking for Swerve to believe in him. He's asking for a fight, and he's seen the way Swerve's looking at him. If he wants the match, he's got it, and he tells him to accept or yield. Swerve says this generation is lapping Omega. He calls himself the most dangerous man in AEW. Omega cuts him off, says no, it's probably Brody King. Swerve says he'll put Omega back in the hospital bed and he won't get back out. Omega slaps him. Swerve says, okay, whatever happens next is on you. They start brawling. We get brawl in the crowd. They go to the stage. V-Trigger against the panel. Goes for one-winged angel. Swerve gets out. Spear off the stage to some tables. That's it.
So I thought the last part of Swerve talking was really all we needed. The first bit I liked it. I didn't think he was at his best there. Once they got into like implying that Kenny's kind of used his executive powers to immediately be put back into the title scene, I thought that made sense. And then I honestly felt like in the moment, the part about Brody King wasn't scripted. I feel like Kenny was trying to get the crowd to engage in Ice Chants. And there was a couple people you could hear, but it never caught on. Because it felt weird, and I felt like Swerve was kind of picking up that I don't think that was part of it.
I liked it.
I was fine,
and
I was fine if he was doing that too, to be honest with you. So I was just curious. It felt like that was kind of tacked on there, but Kenny was fine. I didn't think anything memorable.
I did like the burning the house thing.
I thought the brawl was good, and I'm not always a huge brawl guy, but I thought it actually was some good brawling with like a strong kind of spot to finish it, I guess. So a fine opening segment. I thought Swerve could have been more efficient in his words.
I liked what Swerve said at first, though, because the whole thing where he's talking about, like, oh, I got to the top and you're conveniently nowhere to be found, it kind of harkened back to, like, the whole thing in general of Swerve kind of reminded me of how the feud with Hangman started, where it was like, because the whole thing, how it started with Hangman was that, like, I want your spot, I'm going to take your spot. It started out as, like, really straightforward and then became this personal thing. Whereas with Kenny, it's like, it's kind of similar. It's like, oh, you're supposed to be the best, but then whenever I'm at that level, you're never there. And then now that, like, and then it's also you're using your EVP status to get here, right?
I think Kenny's rebuttal should have been the only reason you ascended to that status was because I wasn't here. Like, I think that's where he should have gone in,
I agree.
In response.
I would have liked if we really played into that first thing. That's
like, said. I wasn't here, so that's why you were successful. Yeah. Right.
And so, yeah, I like this overall. I thought Swerve was definitely better, but I like what they both said. And I thought the brawl was solid as well. So we're getting the match next week, which I'm not sure if I love getting it so soon.
Okay. Do you feel like they were positioning one or the other as a heel at all? Like, I know they're not really, but even for the match.
Yeah, I feel like you'd have to go Swerve.
I think so too. So that
Omega is just like it's kind of the comeback run. Everyone loves him, and Swerve just like Swerve can lean in that heel side so effortlessly now. Yes. It's like you might as well.
And because I'm sure they want some sort of dynamic for the match, right? So they're positioning.
I would imagine that's the way it goes.
Like, I know you want to cheer for both, but cheer for Kenny in this case.
I feel like it's like I could see it dueling a bit, but I do think that it's going to be more Omega heavy than Swerve.
Me too.
But I think maybe like because I know you were kind of talking about it in the moment. There could be potential for a series.
Yeah.
Which I think would be cool.
I thought that's what we're getting because they said if it's about padding your wins and then whatever the line after that also led me to believe it's a series of matches, then let's go.
Maybe like we get some sort of weird finish next week if that leads to that. And I'd be fine with that because I don't think we've had like a best of series since Elite Death Triangle. And that was awesome. And I'll never forget that time where we're getting like them like every week or so.
We've kind of inadvertently gotten a Briscoe Fletcher one, right? But it wasn't like intentional sort of thing.
It also wasn't like week to week.
Right.
Or like consistent. It was like kind of off and on.
So that might help you with it being already next week, right? If the plan is to sort of
That's what I'm saying. Like whether next week's match counts towards the series or not, they could turn it into a series. Yeah. Like it would kind of remind me of, I remember when I started watching wrestling, one of the storylines they did was Cesaro and Sheamus had that best of 7, and then that's how the bar formed.
Right, which ended up being awesome.
Which ended up being great.
Yeah.
So like we could get a series like that.
And Beer Money Machine Guns is the other one I remember.
Yeah, I obviously didn't see that, but I remember Cesaro, Sheamus, and the Death Triangle Elite, I think. And then they did Melo Andrade, who were doing the best of 5 on SmackDown, but then they turned into 7. It's like they finished the series and they're like, nope, let's do 2. Like.
And a weird coincidence, it always goes to the final match somehow. Who knew that would happen? Eh? It's never like a 3-0 sweep or a 4-0 sweep.
It was like, or I remember the Sheamus one. I think like.
It's almost like it's not real. It's almost like it's scripted or something.
He'll go like 3-0, but then it's like Cesaro wins the next ones. It's like it ends up being tied at the end anyways.
Speaking of that energy, have you been trolling any more people about El Grande Americano lately?
Haven't seen any opportunities now.
His move is to play dumb and be like, "What do you mean?
It's fun.
Chad Gable's back."
Yeah,
and people get really mad at you.
Some people hate it. Others play along.
It's funny.
It makes me giggle. I mean, last I checked, Gable's not back. So.
True. That's right.
I did like that. Like
technically, you are correct.
Original Americano. I think he was fighting Bait and Dunn.
Still no Creeds.
Tag match. No,
I haven't seen enough WWE this week. The Dream's not alive. No Creeds under.
Yeah, and the thing was with like Kaiser and Bait and Dunn. It's not like funny to the point where I'm like, okay, sure. It's like you're ruining 3 talents I like, or at least 2 talents I really like, and then Ludwig Kaiser.
But they're getting on TV, I guess.
Butch got on TV.
Yeah, it's true.
That doesn't mean I like it.
It's true.
Now, at least I feel like this is still like to tangent a bit. It's a little better than Butch because I can pretend it's not Pete Dunne.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like I know it's Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
But I can like kind of pretend it's not.
Sure. You can
Because like it's not like I'm like when I see Butch, it's Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
They're just calling him something else.
Yeah.
But like this one, it's like I'm not seeing Pete Dunne.
That's true.
So it's like, okay, I really hope in 2K like Dunn and Bate are still in the game, and it's not just Ryo and Bravo, because I will not be playing as Ryo and Bravo. It's not happening.
Personal protest.
They'll be like a jobber team I use, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Which I mean, I don't know that that's more than what they are IRL.
Every tag team's a jobber team, basically.
Until you want to heat them
company.
up for a random tag title match,
Right.
like Alpha Academy.
That's right.
Because
they deserved it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I think it was after that title match. I don't know if it was this week or last week.
I assume they lost that match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, so after the Usos defend the titles against them, right? Then Jimmy's like saying that Jay should go and win the chamber. I'm like, you know you're tag champions, right?
Right.
Like, are we like, no.
Well, he's smart enough to know there's never going to be a tag match on a PLE. So if you want to be
like,
seen, you've got to be a singles.
It's not even like he's going to do it. He's like telling Jay to do it. I'm like, hasn't Jay done enough single stuff already? Don't you want to? And like, again, aren't you tag champions? So it's like, it would just bother me.
We're going to run the Zaruka story with them. You've had so many opportunities. It's my turn.
But like,
and drag it on for 18 months.
But all the while ignoring the fact that they're holding the tag titles. Because
Right.
why does that matter? Unless they're the women's tag titles right now for...
Yeah, everyone wants those, but nobody wants the men's tag titles. The women's are coveted, men's, no.
Or the women's singles titles. I just saw that there's not a plan for Jade's opponent.
I believe that.
For Mania.
She had her first title defense in like 100 and something days or whatever, her whole reign.
Literally yesterday.
That's crazy.
And it was... Poor Jordan Grace got thrown to her too.
Of course.
Like, so terrible. Anyways, back on to stuff that matters.
Yep.
It's Kyle Fletcher. He is going to go in Australia as champion, and he wants Callis to let him do it himself. This is solid. It was like...
I thought it was like reasonable. His motivation is like, I want to return to Australia with the title. I thought that's like simple, right? I'm going to win it tonight and go back as a hero to my home country. So that's fine. That makes sense.
Yeah, I liked it. It was solid. Not like, I don't know. He got like kind of a face reaction, I feel like, tonight.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's going to when he gets home too,
yeah,
for sure.
I expect that, but like,
he's one of those guys you just like. He's just popular, right? Like he's a heel, but his offense and the way he works, it's hard to root against him.
Yeah, I love watching Fletcher. He's great. Anyways, then first match, I guess opener, we'll call it. It's Death Riders again, but this time it's Mox Claudio Impact against Don Castle. This time it's Takeshita Alexander and Davis. So I want to say like from last week, if I can find my notes, I'll look at it. I know we're switching out Garcia for Claudio, which I did ask for.
That's an upgrade.
But then no Clone this week, which I was disappointed.
Yeah, because Clone was sick last week. We really enjoyed him.
However, I believe because let me look. It's basically the same except we're replacing Claudio with Garcia and replacing Clone with Davis. I was like, if you're gonna replace Clone, you could do a lot worse than Davis.
It's the other end of the spectrum
Davis.
for sure.
Yeah,
from a luchador to a Haas.
We love Davis. So
we do.
Dunkzilla.
That's right.
I thought it was weird. Death Riders came out to Claudio's music and then switched to Mox's. At first, I was like, "Oh, they're coming out to Claudio's music. That could be telling." And then it switched to Mox.
Still could be telling, but it feels like they're not. I don't know. I think that story's just dying on the vine.
It's so weird though, because I was telling you, it's like their babyface is here.
Yeah.
But then, and they kind of are anytime they're facing Callis. But then later in the show, Garcia is teaming with Connor, is clearly healing against Cassidy and like Roddy. So it's like I can't tell what they're doing anymore.
That pairing felt weird to me.
Which one?
Connors and
I agree.
Roddy.
It was like they didn't have Gabe Kidd ready.
Right.
I think.
I think so too.
And then it's like they did mention it's like, okay, yeah, because Gabe Kidd has done work for Death Riders. It's like, okay, we're doing kind of the opposite of that.
Yeah, and Mock's like, I love Gabe Kidd on commentary for whatever reason it was.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So then Mock's babyface on commentary is like supporting mega mad heel Gabe Kidd. So it's like the Death Riders are in such a weird place right now. They need to turn one way or the other.
Yeah.
Like they need to pick a lane.
It's hard in pro wrestling to exist in the middle. Eventually it just becomes...
Even in Austin, it's
you're
like...
not appealing to anyone.
You're an anti-hero, but it's okay. Like, still clearly a face. It's just he acts like, who cares?
It was heel behavior, but with babyface motivations.
And, like, in a likable way, kind of. It's like, the same with Eddie Guerrero. He'd be, like, cheating or whatever, but, like, people like him for it.
Right. So
it's like, Death Riders, they need to pick a lane. I mean, I'm going to say, hey, turn on Moxley, but at this point, just pick a lane and stay in it.
I agree.
It's really weird. Anyways, the match... And also Claudio, sorry, worth noting, Claudio came out with, like, I don't know if you noticed, he had, like, a lucha mask on.
I did not notice.
I assume it's just because he's CMLL champion. It's like, okay,
Oh, yeah.
dude, have like that kind of tie-in.
That makes sense.
He did have a mask for a bit of his entrance there, but not in the match or anything. We get Davis overpowering Pac. He tags out, then he overpowers Mox. Mox tags out, and then we get Claudio and Davis going back and forth. Claudio with a stalling suplex to Davis, which was really sick. Alexander with the apron crossbody to Pac. Claudio hot tag, ravages Davis, then Alexander with uppercuts. Big swing on Alexander. Mox and Takeshita tag in. They're trading shots. Takeshita nails a form and then runs the ropes to Mox. Absolutely clobbers him with a lariat. Takeshita takes the Death Rider corner barrage and then a cutter from Mox. Davis breaks the pin for 2. Mox gets corner barrage by the Callis guys as well. And then German suplex from each guy. Double ripcord double forearm. And then a lariat from Davis. Pac breaks the pin by like shoving Takeshita into it. The finish comes from Mox. He's got Alexander Sleeper, weakens him. Death Rider. It's over.
Yeah, I ended up really liking the match. I thought the early on brawling and stuff was not that exciting, but then I thought it really picked up, and the vast majority of it ended up being really good. There was each team got a really good triple teaming sequence, right? I don't think I liked it as much as last week.
I definitely did not.
Just because Clone provided so much entertainment for us last week. And this did add a bit of fuel to the Moxley Takeshita stuff, right? So
yeah,
that makes sense. And it feels like maybe there's a Claudio Davis program
that I could see as like
possible
a
as well.
Yeah.
So it was good, but the first few minutes I wasn't a big fan of, and I think last week's was more fun.
I thought last week's was much more fun. This one, it still picked up as it went, and like it ended up being really good still. And still a great crop of guys. Mox gets the win heading into the title match though.
Mm-hmm.
So that bodes well for my boy.
True. Good point.
Which, again, I like... So I feel like that's one of the more unpredictable matches on that show. I feel like most of the matches are pretty straightforward. The only other one I'd say is kind of unpredictable is Fletcher Briscoe, because, like...
I know. Because we are at 3-3, but Fletcher just got the title.
But he doesn't need it.
He should be on the ascension beyond that title. In our opinion, I'm pretty sure. I agree.
General opinion, it seems. And, like...
Yeah, true.
And then... It's Mox Takeshita, because I could see that one going either way too. But my thing is, I feel like you would have Takeshita win it, because I think we're on a collision course for Takeshita
I would
Okada.
have Takeshita win it for sure.
Then because you're on the collision course for Takeshita Okada.
Yeah.
And you would end up doing them for the unified title again, like whenever that is. It's stupid, but like it just then at least we can get that title back to like one belt.
Please,
right?
Please.
Because until it's C2.
No.
That's how this works. That's how this works.
We got to fix that.
That's how this works now. We have to accept it.
I guess.
And then you could like obviously you can do whatever with that after. But I was also thinking to hopefully facilitate the Mox turn on Mox, you would have Takeshita win this match obviously to win the title. They pointed out Mox has beaten him twice. Takeshi's beaten once. Now they're at 2-2. You do another title match at Revolution because that's not far off.
It's not.
So you can build that easily, and you can have that series.
We're in the series era.
Yeah, right.
The series era. I'm okay with it if it's good matchups.
Yeah, and so Mox and Takeshita are always great, so it's fine. But point being, now so they would be tied if Takeshita wins this match. Then you do another title match at Revolution. Mox loses again. Death Riders are like okay, and then like you could do the turn soon after, hopefully.
Yep.
Right. And then like maybe you could build up like for Anarchy in the Arena, it'd be like Death Riders and maybe Connors and Kid against like Mox, maybe Darby, like a group of beef. Maybe that's where you bring back Ospreay.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of ways you could go about that, right? But yeah, I would think that hopefully that facilitates the Death Riders turn. Again, still
fantasy booking that.
I saw someone point out it would be kind of cool if they do the turn. The most surprising way to do it is if you have Shafir turn on Mox first, because she's probably the least likely to turn on Moxley.
True.
So it's like I was like that would be a cool way to do it. I think
she joins Roddy in the conglomeration.
Yeah, we'll talk about Roddy because that's kind of a point of contention as well. But we're moving right into another match. It's Ciampa defending the TNT title against Fletcher.
And what a match we're moving into.
Fletcher is wearing white.
He is.
Which means win. White is for win.
Wait, and I at the time I was like, maybe that he only wins when he wears pink, and he was going to lose this one. Little did I know.
There's hints of pink on the gear. It's just like It's one of his like not really pink gears.
Yes.
I was telling you, I think he wore this at Forbidden Door. I want to say it was.
And I was telling you that's why you get into disc golf, because all the pink discs are always available. They're the last ones to sell.
Yeah.
When I go to the clearance section, it's always pink, 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 pink. Fine by me.
Fletcher with the rib breaker, back breaker, full Nelson slam, all in succession there.
Of course.
For 2. Fletcher gets sent over the ropes, then Ciampa knocks him off with a knee strike. Half an hour suplex on the floor from Fletcher. Fletcher's against the steps. Ciampa goes for a knee, whacks his knee off the steps. But then we get an air raid crash on the steps. Looked nasty.
Looked awesome. They replayed it like 4 times, I feel like.
Ciampa caught Fletcher with a running knee as he rears in the ring. Really nice near fall. Avalanche back suplex from Fletcher for 2, then another 2 count off of a sit-out last ride. Problem on the apron from Fletcher. Kick in the corner after the ref was almost in the way. Brainbuster from Fletcher for a near fall. Ciampa expertly counters that turnbuckle brainbuster into a German suplex right into a pump knee for another near fall.
Beautiful counter.
Super kick from Fletcher. Pump knee from Ciampa for a near fall. Fletcher lawn dart into the corner. Running kick to the back of the neck. Goes for a kick again. Ciampa cuts him off the knee. Turns him inside out. Looked awesome. Brainbuster over his own for a near fall. Ciampa goes to a knee again. Fletcher counters with the Michinoku driver. Lariat. Brainbuster. Fletcher gets the win. He talks about coming home as champion, but he's going to do the open challenge so he can defend the title on home turf. Briscoe comes out, and he talks about there are 3 wins apiece. Fletcher's going to have home court advantage for Game 7 if he's not scared. Fletcher looks like he's going to not do it. He's like, I'm sick of seeing your face, whatever, but he did say he'd fight anybody. So kind of like a little bit of face there.
There's a hint, yeah.
And he says, but if it's their last match, it's got to be big, so they're going to do a ladder match.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, this was a fantastic TV match, I thought. And again, added to, because I wasn't really sure, because you knew the result already, I think, right? And I'm watching it going, who can take the loss here? Like, you know what I mean? Ciampa just got here and just won, and Fletcher shouldn't be losing because... Yeah. But anyways.
I thought Fletcher losing was more likely, for sure.
I thought Ciampa looked amazing. He looked so fast and crisp. I felt like these guys had really good...
It's the best I've seen Ciampa look in years, since I didn't watch his return match. So this is like, this is my first taste of not WWE Ciampa, and I thought he killed it, and I thought he's looked fresher than he has in like years.
I thought just a stupid detail. He's so good at kicking out at the last second. He really helps.
That is always a really great thing, right? I know Roman was always good at that.
Because Fletcher's just drilling this believably awesome-looking offense, and it's like the fact that he barely kicks out repeatedly, I think is helpful. I thought the final few minutes of this were fantastic, and just like 2 gifted guys, especially on offense, just kind of like emptying their clip.
A lot of talent, not a lot of hair.
For my entertainment, definitely not a lot of hair. I thought this was excellent. And even though Ciampa lost, I was telling you in the moment, like, I'm still super happy for him because
he's got to be enjoying himself here.
You know that this is this type of stuff he wanted to do, and literally there's no chance of this happening in WWE.
Not anymore.
You're not having a match of this type, quality, like whatever you want, style on TV,
even on their PLEs.
As a single for a title, like he's not going to get that opportunity there.
And it's like not even like he can do that in NXT more because NXT is not like that anymore.
Right. So I feel like this was, even in a loss, pretty cool moment for him. And the aftermath, it does set up a finale, right? They are at 3-3, and a ladder match should be crazy, and I'm fine with it. If we get a great 7-match series out of these 2, like that's really cool.
I agree. Yeah, I thought this was great. Like, Fletcher is great as always. I mean, I don't know how I can praise him without sounding like a broken record because I just think he's perfect. A lot of great near falls towards the end. It kind of felt like anybody's game. I will say I thought, like, Fletcher winning was the more surprising outcome, I think. I'm happy for him, though. Going in Australia as champion, I think will be really cool for him. I just can't help but feel it's a little beneath him. I'm interested to see where he goes because I can't imagine this being a long run.
I don't know. It could be that they have things planned out for the main title for a while, and it's like, there's no room for him yet, but let's keep him top of mind, sort of thing.
Yeah, and hey, if you want to have him go like on another blitz run, and like maybe give him a pink belt.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of people calling for that. I'm like,
that'd be actually cool.
If he's holding it for a decent amount of time, absolutely give him a pink belt.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right, but see, I don't know what the plan is for him. I could see it being a short run. That's why I'm saying like the ladder match is such an odd one to predict. Thankfully, we're not because it's not a pay-per-view.
True.
But, like, it's such a tricky one to call because I'm not sure which way I'm leaning. I feel like Fletcher wins, but I'm not sure.
I would lean towards that as well.
I lean towards Fletcher for 2 reasons. Because, obviously, you just won the title just now. But also, if I'm looking at it like, okay, whoever wins the series is kind of coming with, like, that kind of momentum, who's someone you want to build off of that with, I would go Fletcher.
Me too.
Right? Like, Briscoe, to his credit, he's had a great singles run the last year or 2, but like not someone I necessarily need to be building to world title aspirations. Fletcher's absolutely someone like you do need to be building to those aspirations. So while he's mid-card champion again, she's a champion again. You pad out that resume a bit more,
right?
And then you have him win the series against like a veteran like Briscoe. It's still something for him, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like it's a little tricky to predict, but I feel like the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, oh yeah, Fletcher's winning, right?
It feels like it.
That leaves the unpredictable one being Mox Takeshita, because again, I lean towards Takeshita on that one, but that one I think it's more reasonable to think that Mox would retain. It's weird that Mox is technically his first defense too, but at least he's been doing like the eliminators.
Right. He's been...
Because it was Alexander, Benjamin, Ace Austin at least.
Yeah.
Maybe there's one I forgot, but like there's for sure those are 3.
He's been active at least, unlike Jade, who's just been doing nothing since she won.
Hey, she wrestled BFAB and maybe Michin.
True.
I can't verify the second one.
True.
Honestly, sorry to go on that tangent, but like, it reminds me, like, because you know that one clip from Unreal Season 2 where it's like Road Dogg's pitching Chelsea Green to win U.S. title, and Triple H is like, okay, sure, but then who does he face? And he's like, Road Dogg's like, I don't know. It feels like that's what they did with Cargill. It's like but then it doesn't make sense though, because there has to be top talented people for her to face. But like Stratton's gone. Who else on SmackDown is like good? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Because like I was gonna say, Io's on Raw, Ripley's on Raw,
and they're all
Bailey's
tag teams
on Raw,
okay?
Lyra's on Raw, Becky's on Raw, but is also a heel. Liv and Raquel are on Raw. Like, okay, maybe they don't have anyone good on SmackDown. Okay, like the only other top like person I can think of is Nia Jax, which A, gross,
is
B,
Lash
heel. But like again, she's a heel, so it's, and also Nia and Lash are a tag team, are they not? So like,
yes, they are. Again.
Like, it's just. So then it becomes an issue with the division. Or like, because even regardless of face a heel now, we'll just talk about like top women. You also have Perez on Raw.
I'm looking at the roster right now. Fire, Bliss.
Okay, Bliss and Flair are on SmackDown. So
Belair,
okay,
who's dead.
Bliss and Flair. There.
Yeah.
But they're all,
tag
again,
team.
Are they a tag team right now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
BFAB, Candice LeRae.
No.
Chelsea Green, hurt.
Also not like top.
Julia, they don't care
mid-card
about her.
champion. So she's not challenging Cargill.
Jordan Grace, no. Kiana.
Jordan Grace is probably the only one you could, yes. But then she just lost the title match. I guarantee you they're still going to run that match back at Mania. Because what else are they going to do?
Yeah. Elevate Kiana James.
Yeah, okay.
Michin.
Okay. Yeah, this is great.
Nikki Cross, Piper Niven.
Isn't Piper Niven like super hurt?
Yeah. Zelina Vega. Like there is nobody.
Like all of them are either two mid card or they're heel.
Or they're tag teams.
Or they're tag teams.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Anyways, I don't know why we keep going back to main roster.
It's a rabbit hole we went down, yeah.
Babes the Wrath promo. Harley felt bad for losing the Eliminator. She has home field advantage. They doubted her last time in Australia, but now she's coming in as a champion. So this is solid. Must be cool for her to come back as a champion after like how hot she was last year. Obviously, she wasn't going to beat Monet last year, but like now she gets to come in as like tag champion. Also alongside Willow, who's super popular. So I imagine the reaction they're going to get is like pretty great.
Back-to-back home field advantage references I thought was weird, but
this one I feel like is nice though because Harley's become such a feel-good story.
And she honestly seems pretty advanced in her delivery of lines,
I agree. I think her delivery doesn't get enough credit.
I think she's improving a lot in all aspects. She's like
improving enough in the ring, I think.
In life, there's just people who are quick learners, right? And I think she might be one of those.
Yeah, and maybe she's also just putting in that effort too. Like, but she's taken to it, which is crazy. She's taken to it pretty quickly, given like she was so terrible when she came. Like I hated her.
She was not good.
Because let's not forget she came in part of QTV.
So there's that taint.
There's
stink.
like. That needs to be one of those factions we talk about with like that disdain, you know, like Nightmare Collective or like Super Bad Death Squad, I think it was.
Who is that?
Do you remember?
No.
So Super Bad, you know
Luther?
Who that is? No, that was Chaos Project.
Oh, right.
Was him and
well, Super Bad I know is Kip Sabian.
Yes, and Penelope Ford. Do you know who the other guy was?
No.
Remember Jimmy Havoc?
Oh my God. He's canceled, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like that's like one of those teams where it's like that's early AEW because I remember Jimmy Havoc being like decently prominent.
Yeah.
Or like wasn't Joey Janela and like what was it Sunny Kiss were a team?
Yep. I
remember when I think I mentioned this to you when Omega was facing Rocky Romero the other week. They were gonna like people were saying they should do remember in the Eliminator tournament when Omega just like annihilated Sunny Kiss in like a minute?
Yes.
And he made that funny face.
Yeah.
I wish they had done that again. Because that was like all-time great. Like they did that for no reason.
Yeah.
It was so funny. But it's like, oh, it's like some of the early AEW stuff that I forget about. It's like
Well, I forget more than you.
I think Nightmare
you.
Collective is the main thing. Oh, Nightmare Sisters.
Yeah.
That was
Vicky Guerrero?
No, that was Vicious Vixens.
Oh, my bad.
Her and like Nyla Rose, and I think Shafir was in there at one point.
Yeah.
But Nightmare Sisters, remember Allie came in as the bunny, obviously it was like Butcher and Blade, but then like she just stopped being the bunny for a bit and was like with quote unquote QT Marshall and teaming with Brandy Rhodes. Remember they did that random women's tag tournament, the Deadly Draw?
Yeah.
It was during that period. This was like pandemic time, and then you had Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall's The Natural Nightmares.
Right.
Babyface QT Marshall. I do
impossible,
remember,
which is impossible.
I will say to their credit, I remember them having one match that at least I liked. I think we both liked it because this is in that era where they're like really nailing the no DQ tag matches. Like this was probably around the same era as the parking lot brawl. I remember they had a bunkhouse brawl against Butcher and Blade. I remember liking it. I don't remember. I just remember it was in the Daily's Place era for sure.
Speaking of parking lot brawl,
yeah, I remember you told me you didn't like that.
It was terrible.
I didn't hear anything about it. I saw some clips of it. It looked fine.
It was all in service of the Rascals smoke weed, basically. Like, oh, there's a limousine, and when it opens, smoke flies out, and then they go in there for a while, and when they come out, they're high, and like, it was just, and even the action, I don't know, man, it really bugged me. I guess probably because I was comparing it to that other one, but I thought it was way closer to bad than good.
But even still, I feel like there have been other good parking lot brawls. Because remember there was another one we liked that I think still had Best Friends in it.
I didn't enjoy this one.
But like that first one is like...
I watched all of that Collision and thought it was pretty weak, actually.
That was the one with Ciampa Briscoe, right?
Yeah.
So at least that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Because Ciampa last week, it was Ciampa, Roddy, and Claudio, I think, which I said I might watch and I didn't.
You did not.
I always say I'm going to watch something on Collision and then it just
and
doesn't
then you
happen.
don't.
I mean, it's even. I didn't watch the Rumbles, so...
True.
I'm still not. I probably just won't.
You won't at this point.
Maybe, like, because it's not even like... I told you, like, maybe at some point this week I'll watch War Games finally just because it's, like, worst of contention, right? But the thing about the Rumble is, like, it doesn't even seem that bad. It's, like, bad enough where, like, okay, yeah, it sucks, but, like, it's not
No,
like...
it wasn't anything that'll come up on worst of. It maybe had one of the better WWE matches that they'll see this year, probably.
And that's no fun for me.
Right. So there was nothing that sunk to the level of worst of.
This is going to sound bad, but, like, I kind of hope Mania is terrible this year.
Well, you might not watch it, so.
That's why I hope it's terrible.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, then it's like, okay, it'll be bad and we can watch it, and then, okay, worse stuff. Because Mania last year sucked.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it could get worse, I think. Because I remember the one match that was really bad was New Day War Raiders because it was really boring. But then Stratton Flair was really bad.
Yeah.
Jay Gunther I didn't like because Gunther tapped out.
I
remember the main event of night 2 was obviously terrible, but the main event of night 1 was great. I love that match.
What was that?
Rollins, Punk, Roman.
Oh, yeah. That
match was great.
Yep.
And you really loved the opener of night 2.
I did.
Which was EO,
Women,
Ripley,
right?
Belair, I think. We need Belair back because that's someone you put against Cargill.
Been the longest finger injury recovery on recorded time, I think, basically.
It's that, and then like, isn't Jay White a broken hand?
I don't know.
I swear that's what it was. I think it might have been like melded into something worse, but I remember initially I swear it was a broken hand.
Amputation. And he's getting a cybernetic hand.
You know what that made me think of was the eye for an eye match. It's like you got to extract the eye.
That's right.
Extract his hand. Anyways, it's Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong against Daniel Garcia and Clark Connors.
This whole thing just felt weird to me.
I agree.
And it affected my interest in it.
Yeah. The only thing I was interested in to see was Clark Connors wrestling, and he didn't
really do much. Like this was
which
very
sucks because I do
bland.
want to see more from Connors.
Me too.
I could go back to Collision and watch that match at Darby.
But you won't.
But I won't.
Correct.
We need to get I would love lunatic tag team Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors.
Me too.
I think that'd be great. I will say I liked Clark Connors' theme song. I thought it was cool.
Didn't notice.
It had this cool
very on brand for both of us.
Psychotic whistling in it. I liked. There was this kind of eerie whistling that I liked. I thought that was kind of cool. He's keeping the 100 Proof nickname.
He is.
Which I know he had from Bullet Club because that was the intro for his theme song was the Bullet Club drop, but then it says 100 Proof instead of
alcohol reference.
What does that mean again?
So that means the percentage of alcohol in that I think is will be half of that. So
yeah, okay.
50%.
That is exactly. So it means he's 50% alcohol?
Correct.
Huh. Okay. It sounds cool, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I liked his New Japan theme a lot more. I thought his Bullet Club theme was really cool.
I got nothing.
You wouldn't know.
Crickets for me on that topic.
He did use an AEW before, because I remember like sometime last year I think he had a collision match, and I remember like trying to find his entrance to see if he was using the New Japan theme, and he was.
I remember him in a New Japan Strong when I was checking that out back in the day.
I remember him in the match to crown the inaugural All Atlantic champion when Pac won it. It was Pac, I think Rusev, main event heel. I want to say Malachi Black, Rip as well.
Same, yeah.
And then I remember it was going to be Ishii, but then he got injured. So I remember Clark Connors being there. That's when he was doing like I remember his nickname was like something to do with like a rhino.
Rhino, yeah. It was.
Because like the spear was his thing. And like I think he did a pretty good one. I remember like liking him in that match because he was kind of like the odd man out in that match because he was a replacement. So it was kind of like a weird pick, but I remember him being good. Anyways,
he's never bad. He's just never the standout either, I find.
But I will say he looked really cool in his entrance. Like he looked really cool.
I do think he's cool right now. If I will say that.
Like ever since he's been signed or whatever, the presentation's pretty cool.
Yep.
I can't lie. I hope, like, to get back to the point, I hope we see more of his matches later on. Because, this one was weird. Garcia is again wearing pants, which I also thought was weird. Garcia with hard chops and strong comes back with a backbreaker. Cassidy the face in peril, and he fights off the heels with hands in his pockets, goes for a tag slowly. Roddy drops out and leaves.
Mm-hmm. You could hear him mouthing, "I never wanted to be part of this anyways," or something along those lines. Like you can see he was like, "I didn't want this" kind of deal.
Cassidy gets pummeled in the corner with stomps. Connors dives through the ropes to hit a spear to Cassidy on the apron. Kind of like I was saying to you, the inverse of what Blake Christian would do.
Right.
Shout out Vanilla Baby. Darby Allin, then he appears, like the ref's not looking, and he appears to take Connors over the barricade through the crowd. So now it's a tag match where it's only Garcia and Cassidy.
And guess who's going to win that?
Yeah. Counters the Dragon Tamer small package. Cassidy wins. Storm promo after the match. Don't care. Yuta and Shafir cut off a bit of Mina's hair.
Right.
This was like, it was fine. It was just like, it was such a weird, it didn't feel like a full match. And it was more about like a story. It
was about like three stories, I think.
It was so weird. I'm most interested to see where the Roddy thing goes because it doesn't feel like a full heel turn yet. So I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. Like if he's just trying to get away from the conglomeration, if he's going to join the Death Riders, if he's going to like...
Yeah.
It'll be even more interesting when O'Reilly comes back. And I do like that because hopefully that gives O'Reilly something to do when he comes back since he was red hot before he got injured. I was less interested in what Storm said to the point where I did not know what she said.
There was one thing she said I was going to make note of, and then I don't remember what it was. But yeah, it was more about furthering the Darby Allin story, the Roddy story, the Storm story. So I guess in that sense, you used one thing to further three stories, but there was just nothing memorable for me in the match itself. And it basically was a tag that came down to a singles match. But I don't know. It felt like a lull in the show to me.
I thought,
to be honest,
a waste of Clark Connors.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see Clark Connors in a singles match then.
Partnering him up with Garcia, kind of like you're telling me that's kind of the level he's at, and I don't like that messaging because
he looks more than that.
Garcia's just around and loses all the time, right? So I don't know. I'm hopeful because I am enjoying this iteration of Connors that he is above that level, but that's kind of what the seeds you're planting in my mind by this.
Yeah, that's a fair point, and I don't like that because I'm liking Connors right now, and I want to have hope for him.
I know, me too.
Like obviously he's mid card, sure, but let's make him a successful mid card.
Agree.
There's a difference between like a Dana Garcia and a Claudio.
And if Kid's his partner, I feel different about it, right? But with Garcia, his partner,
Yeah, because Gabe Kidd's clearly something.
Yes.
Daniel Garcia is...
Clearly nothing.
Has been
no offense, he is not anything.
They tried. They tried multiple times, but then they also didn't try.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Garcia, it's like, it's not even worth it anymore. Like, I don't care anymore.
Nope.
It's whatever. Anyways, then we get a Callis and Andrade promo. Callis talks about his family being a team, and Andrade, he knew he was the man to take out Omega. He'll be the next champion. Hangman will find out in Australia. You get run over if you get in their way. Andrade says things in Spanish. First time for Andrade to speak since he's been back. This was solid.
And I think this is how you use Andrade. He looks amazing. He has great matches. Somebody speaks for him, and he gets to speak Spanish, and that's totally fine. I think this is what
I agree. This
people
is like a good
haven't
formula.
done for him in quite a while, and this is how you do it.
Yeah. You haven't really done this much since the Vega partnership.
Right. And I've always said, there's no reason for them to stopped doing that. I don't think.
Absolutely. Then we got a Hangman promo to follow up on that. He talked about how he expected to face Omega. He wanted that, but he gets Andrade instead. And he says things in Spanish, and he says he'll see Andrade down under. Also solid. And I forgot he was good in Spanish. We only learned that last year, but I forgot about that.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember, he had the whole tobacco promo.
Yeah, all the employees he would talk to.
He cut a bunch of promo in Spanish because it was the Grand Slam Mexico, I think.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
He always sounds sincere, so this was good.
I do love me a good Hangman promo. It's just half of it I didn't understand. Then we get Jet Speed promo. They say they want new trios challengers, but Hangman's going for the world title, so maybe they should go for more gold too, whether it's tag or singles gold. Speedball says Jet Set Rodeo, which is their name, not Horsecock, apparently.
Surprise. What a surprising pick.
Yeah. He says they're coming for all the gold. I said, give me a Speedball TNT title open challenge God run, and I'm listening.
So I think
Speedball's an open challenge champion would be dope.
At least we're going to obviously keep seeing these guys because they will defend trios when they can. And it sounds like they're setting it up for, hey, we're going to have singles stuff as well. So
yeah.
More of them, especially Bailey, is fine with me anytime.
Agreed. I like that. Speaking of tag teams, it's a 3-way for tag title shot. Young Bucks, the Bucks of Youth, the Rascals, which is going to be the former Wesley and Myron Reed is his name. And we have a wild card team as well. A lot of speculation it was going to be Cope and Christian. It's Private Party.
Yes, Yay! It is. I was happy to see
I was pretty happy about. And it might sound sarcastic, but I was actually pretty happy to see them. We haven't seen them since they lost the tag titles, I think, which was like probably a year ago.
Yeah,
about.
I would say so.
I think it was sometime in
They've
February.
been on hiatus for quite a while.
So yeah, that's I do love Private Party. I've always liked them. I thought, like, I'll kind of talk about it after too. I don't like how they got done dirty with the booking of their tag title run. So I really hope for better things for them because I do enjoy them a lot. I think they're pretty fun in the ring. I like their gimmick. I like their entrance.
So my thing would be going back into leaning into the party guys, and they have like I know the security guys there. They have a heavy who like does the VIP thing for them, and then maybe they like always have awesome matches but lose because they're not serious enough because they're party guys. Like they interact with the crowd or they do whatever, and you know what I mean. They're always like, if they just took things a little more seriously.
But then it's like, then how can you have them be like legitimate though?
But they don't need to. I'm saying they probably are just like fodder in the division.
I think they could do better than that though because I like
they
them.
Could, but they're not going to. So why not keep them busy with the fun gimmick? I don't think
that's
like
necessarily true.
I don't think he'll see them doing anything.
I hope so.
Above like supplementary babyface tag team, like exactly what they were for this match.
Yeah,
but I like them. They're fun to watch,
and
Quen looks a little different.
Quen is beefed up a bit.
Yeah,
we get Private Party and the Bucks going at it. Bucks end up cleaning house, take out the Rascals too. Rascals with a nice combo to Matt. Cassie with a huge dive off Quen's back to the pile. Xavier, Desmond Xavier that is, with the crazy shooting star type thing to the pile on the floor. Nick with a series of strikes in the corner for Quen. Then he does like the running bulldog to Quen as he clotheslines Cassidy. We get a couple sweet tag moves from Private Party from the Bucks back to back. I thought that was really nice. Crazy sequence, everybody's down. Xavier and Matt trade strikes. Xavier gets popped into a super kick from Nick. Corkscrew sent on from Xavier to Matt, then Reed with a 450 splash for 2. Nick breaks the pin. Double super kicks to both Rascals, then Quen. BT trigger to Quen. Meltzer driver to Reed. Bucks get the win. We get the FTR briefly coming out after, saying that the Bucks sit at second place for greatest of all time. He says Dax says if it was him and his rivals are considered the best, it would bother him. Every company they've worked for, they've been successful, but the Bucks had to create their own company. The Bucks super kick FTR, then they taunt Stokely, and then that's it.
Yeah, the match was like a true AEW style multi-team, kind of crazy, really hard to tell who's legal at times, action all over the place, but just really fun to watch, and nice to see Private Party back in there. Just sort of felt different. And FTR Bucks is obviously not a fresh matchup.
That's the only thing I was like, it's kind of like Fletcher Briscoe for me. I'm like, feels played out a bit, but it's also going to be great.
A classic matchup between two of the best teams of the era, right? So I don't mind really that they circle back to it because these are. It
does feel like it's been a bit.
It has, and I'm wondering, is this where Cope and Christian come to cost FTR the titles? Right, FTR spins off to a feud with them that doesn't need the titles. I don't think at all. In fact,
I don't think it does, but
I don't think it should involve the titles. Actually,
I was so certain that it would.
I don't know. Maybe.
I really thought it would. So now, like, I'm not sure. Or
I'm not saying that Edge and Christian don't get a title run. I just don't know if their issues with FTR need to be.
I could see there being a TLC match or like a ladder match with them, the Bucks.
Yeah.
And Edge and Christian. You kind of have the Bucks is like to fill the Hardy Boys type high flying vibe.
Yeah.
And then FTR kind of like Dudley's where they're not as high flying, but like they're kind of like the more like rough and tumble kind of team.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that being the case.
It could.
Maybe for an all-in match. But yeah, like I thought this match was good. It felt like they didn't have a crazy amount of time, so they were just out there to do a lot, which I thought they did, and it was pretty entertaining. I'm happy to see Private Party back. I hope they get better treatment, but we'll see what they end up doing.
They won't.
I'm not mad at the prospect of Bucks FTR again. I would have liked it to be Private Party just to have a fresher matchup, but
no shot.
Yeah. Then we get an Ospreay package. He's talking about how he doesn't know if he'll be the same when he returns, or if the fans will still be in his corner. If the assassin will reclaim the air. Every question will be answered when he returns. I like this. I thought it was cool. I thought it's a good way to kind of get some sympathy for him. Remind us that he's going to be back. It's going to be such a big deal when he comes back. I love the little build to his return, so you know it's coming. You just don't know when.
So I think they have a big opportunity to like. He comes back extra focused because now he knows like how easy it is to have wrestling taken away from you. So like he can be on I've been sidetracked, not going for the main title, and now that is And honestly, MJF's the perfect heel opponent for him to chase, right?
Agree.
Like that could be a great story to tell. And then he finally wins the title.
I think you haven't come back. I think he wins the Owen this year, and then since All In's back in London, I think this is the year you have him win in London. Because I've been saying that's going to happen since he signed. I was like, I thought it would have been 2024, but it wasn't.
Like, I think a more focused, like, the only thing he cares about is winning the title because it's so easy to lose, like, a half a year or whatever of your career. So now he's refocused.
Yeah, I think you have MJF beat Hangman out at
I do too.
Revolution. I think you have him get past whoever at probably Dynasty. Double or Nothing. You could have, like, maybe you could do Omega or Swerve or both there. You could do something. You could do a triple threat with someone in Andrade if you want to throw him in there.
Yep.
You could.
I do want to throw him in there.
Yeah, or like you could, I don't know, Takeshita or Fletcher. Like there's a lot of combinations. Right? Jay White, if he comes back, if he's not dead, I don't know what happened to him.
But the fact that we're getting these vignettes week after week is they are confident they have a return date for him, right? So that is good news.
Yeah, which is good because that's more than we can say for some people.
Right.
Then MJ Brody King hype package quick, and then it's time for the main event. It's Statlander and Tekla. Strap match for the women's title. Statlander was just like dragging Tekla around by the strap early on, which like, we're like,
I'm like, what's the point? And you're like, Matt Burn? I'm like, I guess. Okay.
And then she was holding her stomach, so I was like, that's got to be all it is, because otherwise I was like.
And Stats, big, strong girl, you know.
I guess that's the point.
Yeah.
Diving crossbody from Tekla, set Statlander with a super kick. Boot and knee in the corner from Statlander, power slam for 2. Tekla's like in the tree of woe. She gets up, whips Statlander with a strap, then the spider suplex. I'd already written spider suplex the second she was down.
Of course.
Like, you knew it was happening.
Of course.
Statlander numerous whips to the back, then whips Tekla while she's in the tree of woe. Blue Thunder Bomb from Statlander for 2. Tekla like wraps the strap around Statlander's neck, goes for curb stomp, misses. Statlander wraps her in the strap and whips her. Then like Tekla's still kind of trapped, like wrapped up in the strap. That sounded weird. And Statlander hits her with a tombstone. Then the finish comes. Sisters of Sin make the run in to like for a distraction. Then Statlander takes them out. Spear, curb stomp from Tekla, and Tekla wins.
A little surprised by that one too. And so I wasn't like Stats run has not elevated this title at all, and this match didn't feel super important to me.
This was fine. Like I thought it wasn't a bad match. I didn't get into it.
I know, and Stat is really talented, but they just haven't found a way to present her in any sort of compelling way.
This title run kind of reminded me of the Private Party one, where she just at least she defended it more often and was prominent on like Private Party, but it's just like I just felt like such an afterthought at the same time, and just like I don't know. I really wanted better for her.
Like her run, doesn't it feel like it's more like the TBS title? You know what I mean? Like that kind of presence. And then Tekla, who has potential to be really cool, but she's affiliated with like a couple unserious people. So that bugs me
that's
too.
What I'm saying. Like I kind of like Tekla, but I hate her faction. So that, like if I have to see them more often, that's gonna suck. Like,
but I thought overall like a good physical match. I like the use of blood because by the end, Stat was a mess with blood.
Yeah.
Second somewhat surprising title change on a show, right? So, and
I guess like if Statlander's underwhelmed so much, you might as well try Tekla.
Sort of looking for compliments. Sometimes the strap is a real hindrance in these matches, and I didn't think that it really got in the way at all.
I honestly kind of forgot it was there half the time.
Yeah, I know. It's true, which actually is kind of a compliment because sometimes I find it annoying.
Like it is, but it's also like I feel like for the first chunk of the match, like they didn't use it a lot. Like it's a TV strap match, so there is that. But I do feel like it kind of underwhelms for a strap match.
And it kind of makes sense that Tekla's been presented as more of the front and center with the Triangle of Madness, and that she has done most of the speaking. Well, it's always been Hart, right? Seems to be the one they want to push. So now this is sort of flipped, which I think is a better decision. But I guess we'll wait and see what her title reign brings. And do you think they're like pulling the plug on Stat and this is the end of this, or are they going to run this back as a rematch?
I mean, it's 1-1.
We are in the series era, so.
But like, I can see that. I think Statlander will stay in title orbit because she's good enough to challenge for the title. It's just like, I don't know.
She's a character tweak or a
she's a character away,
or like a manager away from being
like
cool.
She's so good in the ring. It's the character.
I know.
It's the kicker.
It's the character. The speaking are not there for her. But what are your overall thoughts on the show? I like when you go first with that now.
I hadn't thought about this one before. Like overall, I would say it's a good show because we had a really good and like important opening segment.
Couple bonus marks for surprise title changes.
Yeah, you had a couple of notable title changes. You had a good trios opener, a great TNT title match. But like then that one tag match was really weird. The main event was kind of underwhelming.
Agree.
So like, but the three-way tag I liked, and Private Party Returns notable too. So I feel it feels like a B+ to me. I feel like the main event, if I was more interested in like I liked it better, I feel like then it's an A range show. If that tag match was anything worth my time, it would be like an A range show. So I feel like it falls a little short to me because like
me too.
I don't feel like as outwardly positive as like the last couple weeks. I still like the show a lot.
Me too.
And there's still some things I really liked on the show. It's just like it doesn't feel the same as
I went B approaching a B+, so we're in the same neighborhood, I think.
Yeah.
At least. All right, that's going to wrap up our Dynamite talk. We'll shift gears, do a little bit of trivia in the middle here. We like to call it Off the Top of His Head. All right, so in honor of you joining the Andrade fan club, we're going to see if AI can get his greatest matches, okay? So we'll see how many. It gave me 12. I may have hints to give depending on what their description provides, but let's start. So number 12, New Japan G1 Climax match. Just imagine who we would have a good match with. As La Sombra.
Nakamura?
No. Somebody in AEW now.
Omega?
Nope. Other one.
Hangman?
Nope.
Who's the other one?
Well, not Omega, the other one at that level, I would say. No. Who is Omega's main rival?
Okada.
There you go. Okada.
I guess he is in AEW.
Yes. WWE SmackDown, that's hard, so it's described as a technical chess match.
Rey Mysterio?
No.
Dan Bryan?
Yes, very good. There you go, your technicians. AEW Dynamite, pure athletic spectacle. Does that make sense, considering the opponent? High speed, high risk, very modern.
Phoenix?
Very modern style. Nope. We just talked about him coming back.
Ospreay?
Yes.
Andrade and Ospreay?
I don't know if that happened, right? That's the one I was like, and it's very vague too, so I was wondering. How about Triple Mania 29?
Omega?
Yes. Did you actually know that or just guess?
I knew they had a match in AAA.
Very good. Here you go. AEW Rampage. Underrated TV banger, physical, stiff, and very clean technically, and this is two of my absolute favorite wrestlers, probably. Of the same
Pac?
Yeah, I was going to say
I remember them having matches. I remember you being excited about
of the similar standing of like they're amazing in the ring, but they never get the big push, right?
Difference is Pac is a great talker.
True. I wish they'd give us the years for these. NXT No Mercy. Andrade's surprise NXT return match, it says. Is that not a thing?
Doesn't sound right. Who was it?
It's now a champion on main roster.
Mello?
Yeah. Did that happen?
No.
Never happened?
No way that happened.
Let's see if this happened. Royal Rumble. Again, no year.
Mysterio?
Yes. That one happened?
Probably, but maybe not.
Show Steeler vibes on a major pay-per-view, it says.
I don't know if they had any pay-per-view matches.
2 out of 3 falls match from SmackDown.
Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
That one I know.
A rare main event TV classic. There you go. Smooth lucha exchanges and chemistry that felt effortless.
That's so ChatGPT.
NXT TakeOver New Orleans.
Black.
Are you right on that?
I'm right.
You are right. They are saying Finn Balor.
Balor wasn't in NXT for New Orleans.
We're going back to the AI is going to take all of our jobs and run the world, but it can't get a damn simple trivia.
The weekend
thing
that TakeOver New Orleans that's when Balor had that triple threat for the IC title Mania with Rollins and Miz. Okay. And then Andrade dropped the NXT title to Black.
So that's the beauty of ChatGPT's wrong because you know better. NXT TakeOver War Games?
McIntyre?
Correct. They got it right.
Yeah.
It says Andrade's breakout night as a main event player. Zelina Vega interference, big match energy, and a title change. Number 2 should be pretty obvious. You want to take a shot, and in what order?
I know what one of them is.
Okay, so we'll say NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4.
Are they both? No. Because it should be Brooklyn 3.
And what match is it?
Gargano.
Correct.
Are they both Gargano?
They are both Gargano.
So then it's Brooklyn 3.
So, and then what's the other one?
Philadelphia.
Correct.
Because Brooklyn 4 is Gargano Ciampa 3.
And
Brooklyn 3.
Philadelphia is mine.
And Philadelphia is the one you're thinking of.
Yes.
Brooklyn 3 is their first match. And then they had that last match when it's like, it was on NXT, and it was the one where it's like if Gargano loses, then he's leaving NXT, and then Ciampa comes in to cost him, and then that's why like they have the unsanctioned match with Ciampa and Gargano. It's like, yeah, it's that part of that whole thing.
So what the number 1 was my match, the Philadelphia. It says often called one of the best NXT matches ever. Correct. Near falls, insane pacing, and incredible crowd heat. Meltzer famously went 5+ stars. Career defining for Andrade.
I have to think about like my NXT Mount Rushmore, like if I'm going matches.
It's a bonus content on YouTube, man.
Yeah.
Save that topic idea. Okay, great job. Quick trivia there. We'll get back into what'll just be, I think, NXT coverage unless you discover something else we're talking about. It's Highspots and Restholds. NXT starts out with new champion Joe Hendry in the ring to speak. Says a bunch of babyface stuff and then talks about what he's done in WWE so far, including facing Randy Orton and whatnot. And then,
but he doesn't want to talk about how that match went. Or how long?
No, not the results, just that it happened.
That he was there,
right? And then Vanity Project come out to sort of save this segment for me. Jackson Drake mocks Hendry, admits that they were the ones that took him out backstage weeks ago. Drake's, I can't remember. It was like Hendry made some sort of comment about Drake's gear, and then my favorite line was he said they don't take fashion tips from a guy who looks like he's from a boy band that his mother likes, which was A, a shot at your wardrobe, and B, kind of that you're old and I'm young, right? Because my mom,
yeah,
right? So I kind of thought that worked on two fronts. Eventually it leads to a fight, and thankfully I was a bit worried that like he was just going to take all of them out, which I wouldn't appreciate, but the numbers game get to him. We get a running knee from Drake. He holds up the NXT title, so we're going to get that match. And just, for me, the contrast between Hendry and Drake, because Hendry just isn't, he feels kind of stale to me and played out, and Drake is like young and cool and fresh.
Well, and like the Vanity Project guys are kind of indie guys, and like Hendry, like even though he was an indie guy, he feels like such a WWE guy. It's like LA Knight was also an indie guy, but LA Knight feels so like he was always meant to be there kind of thing.
And Hendry, it's me personally, but like the type of character he's playing, again, is not what I want the main title on, right?
It's like a Tony Storm thing, except less, I would argue less annoying than Tony Storm.
She's at one end of the spectrum, and he's closer to that end than like a serious guy.
But well, because I remember like when he was starting to do this band TNA,
it was fun.
I thought it was funny.
But again,
especially when the songs are funnier though. That was the thing as well. As, like,
and he wasn't the champion.
Yeah, he was like, he might have been digital media champion, but that was like...
That doesn't count as anything. So we'll get that Drake-Hendry match on this show, and of course Drake has to lose, but it's good experience for him, right?
Yeah,
so,
I suppose.
Keanu Carver now has gone from just running amok to politely speaking to...
I thought his ring gear looks kind of lowbrow. It's just like the shorts and like no knee pads.
He's speaking to Robert Stone backstage, and he is annoyed that Jackson Drake is getting a shot at Hendry before he does. And Stone, literally his logic for it was, well... Jackson Drake confronted him first. It's like playground rules. Like he called it sort of thing.
He stepped up.
And then he kind of, I guess it's okay because he goes, like Shawn Michaels told him that he wants chaos. And so Stone's going to give him chaos. And then Keanu Carver's like, well, I can create chaos. And he sort of leaves. So obviously Carver is set off again and going to do some destruction. Then we get Jada Parker, Blake Monroe. They give a 10-minute match, ends in a double countout, which I think they did on main roster somewhere too. So it's like they just copy and pasted.
Copy your homework.
So they continue to fight after the match. Parker ends up taking out I think it was like 3 security people and accidentally a referee. So, oh no, she's going to get fined, that kind of thing. So I had seen before that there was a really dangerous suplex botch by Monroe.
I don't think I heard about that.
I think they edited it out because I looked twice for it and I couldn't find it. So I don't like if that's part of what they're doing, is editing out
like just
stuff they don't want.
Yeah,
because Google's quick now. Google and say like whatever Monroe botch with, and see if you can find the footage, because maybe I'm just crazy and it didn't happen. But I swear I saw it pushed to me before I saw the match. So I like both of these women, and I'm on the record saying that. But this match didn't make me want to see.
Yeah, I found it.
The next match more, and it looked bad, right?
Yeah, it looked like
just drops her on her head,
like a spiked DT kind of.
Yeah,
that wasn't in the match.
So I didn't see it in the match. So unless it was on commercial or they cut it out, because I watched it 2 days after it aired.
Yeah, right.
Right. So they have time to snip things out. It didn't do anything to make me want to see their match anymore. I don't think there was anything wrong with it, but it didn't and I imagine the plan is some stipulation, right? Like falls count anywhere.
Something or cage match if you want to keep them in the ring.
Or one of the million things that just means no DQ, Could be anything. I did really I was going to actually send it to you. Super stylish vignette for Tatum Paxley where she's like underwater and stuff and then sort of like breaking through the surface, and bottom line, she's going to stop being the person that Izzy Dame's trying to make her into and become the Tatum Paxley she was meant to be. And it was just like really different, kind of on brand for the character she is. And it's like, I don't know if it's subconsciously, because I guess I'm aware of it, but when they clearly put this much effort into a vignette to make it different, it feels like the person matters. Right, because they actually are like, she's not just in the women's locker room. You can tell when it
matters to them, and then it's like, okay, I'm going to care.
Because they'll just go, get in the women's locker room, we'll film a quick segment. This is like, man, we're going to do all kinds of like filming you underwater, and it's all very stylish and slick. So I thought it was, it stands out because it's different, and it makes her feel like she's kind of important. It's like a shiny kind of nice vignette for her. So Cale Dixon, I actually think he's okay on the mic too, so he's talking to Connors about Connors.
I did see this. I also thought Cale Dixon was solid.
I think, and in ring, man, he is way more athletic than I thought he was. I also
saw his like flare from the tag match last. I was like, all right.
I know, like I'm kind of on the Cale Dixon watch right now.
I agree. And I initially remember he was like a jobber from like the Level Up era.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this guy, like his name's kind of,
I know. I don't love that.
He was one of the jobbers when Breaker was debuting on main roster.
And he's got decent size, a decent look.
He just needs to stop doing the Zack Ryder half tights thing. That has never worked for anybody.
So he's sort of confronting Uriah Connors about walking away and almost catching up with the birthright, right?
Yeah.
But not quite. So
no, I thought Dixon's promo there was quite good.
And then so Dixon leaves. King approaches and says that there's one more member they need to get. So it's sort of implying Uriah Connors is in the group.
And like what they're trying to get, is it Dempsey?
Yes.
Last one?
And Connors ends it by saying like, I'll go talk to Dempsey because our fathers know each other. Right?
King Regal's court reference?
Yeah.
King Booker's court reference.
So again, I find this group interesting, but you've planted the seed in my mind, I think, where I'm afraid that David Finlay shows up and he takes away attention from the rest of them.
Or David Finlay comes to lead them, which...
That's what I'm afraid of. And he'll
that's
take
what you're afraid of?
Yes,
okay.
It'll suddenly be like, spotlight's on him and the rest of you are beneath him. Whereas right now it's like they're presenting Lexis King as the leader, but
you can have Lexis King lead a faction if you want to. Can't.
You can if he doesn't really wrestle much.
But if he's just saying he's like a bad wrestler, it's just like I don't know. He's been treated as like
I know.
So like I don't like I think I would argue David Finlay leading the group it might be helpful to them.
I would rather they're like a low mid card group for now, and we figure out what we've got in Connors.
I don't know. Here's the thing though,
and something new for Dempsey.
Here's the case I'll make for David Finlay at least.
Oh my God, this is not what this was not.
Not because I want him there, like because I like him, but like. If he goes to NXT, like we were saying this too, he kind of has to go to NXT because he can be treated like a decent deal. Because that main roster is not happening.
No,
it's just not.
No.
With him going to,
he'll be Tama Tonga on main roster. I feel like.
Yeah. And with him going to NXT, and if he does like lead or even join the Birthright, he like that kind of opens the door for like that thing you like at the factions where it's like you have him as the top guy, you can have Lexis or I preferably like Dempsey. It's a mid card guy.
Me
You
too.
could have King and Connors as
Or Stacks and Connors.
or Stacks and Connors.
He's in there too.
Stacks doesn't being there. I'm not even gonna.
He doesn't even deserve it. He's not a true
I'm not even
birthright
gonna.
guy.
I'm gonna say King and Connors tag team, or like so not King and Connors. What did I say? No, I did say King and Connors. Like you could have like the levels of the faction though. So like
And Grace as a women.
and Grace as your women's one if you want, or Mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Stacks can get out. But like the thing with Finlay, at least it's like it kind of gives you that layered faction you like.
It does.
So, like, again, I don't care about Finlay, but I don't think it would necessarily be bad for that group. I can see what you're saying.
So I'm interested in it.
I think it could go either way, kind of thing.
As a
Finlay,
mid-card story, I'm kind of okay with it to see where it goes.
I think right now it's kind of interesting from what I've seen. I do feel like that would be Finlay's place, though. It would just be weird, like, because you can't do this group and not acknowledge that his brother is Uriah Connors. So then that runs into the problem where are we going to keep David Finlay's name and change Uriah Connors? Are we going to keep them both the same? Are we going to change Finlay's to like something Connors?
Shouldn't they be a tag team? They love the brothers tag teams. Oh, no, they don't because they have an amazing one on their roster that they don't even use.
And then the other one's the Usos, I think.
Right.
Do they have any other ones? It's Usos, Creeds.
Should be Penta and Phoenix.
Oh, right. Yeah. That
Hardys, they love them. Dudleys are brothers.
Right. Yeah. Brothers of Destruction, obviously. That's a classic
obviously
one.
brothers as well.
But like, I would hope they would just change Uriah Connor's name because I think that's a bad name in general.
It's not great. And he's looked kind of cool too. He's just really small.
It does suck that they're not doing the Chase U thing though, because I feel like if you built it up enough, I feel like Connors and Dixon would be like if they just like were more fleshed out, whatever, they could be a cool team like Fraxium. Not like saying like they're gonna be as insane in Fraxium, but like just a quality tag team that's like they could have a better shelf life than like the funny goofy Chase U because they could actually like be good in matches.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens with them, I guess. Did you see the cross promotion or whatever when they had this?
I was waiting for you to see that.
So I also think that wasn't on the version I watched because I saw that clip after the fact when I was going through my news. I don't know if I just zoned out, and because I do sort of not pay attention to some of the stuff and this would have been something, but it was still so stupid.
I knew you would love it.
So the wanted man is in the crowd right behind commentary, basically.
When I tell he looks like
it was stupid.
And I don't mean this as a compliment. Not because I don't even hate the movie. It's just like he reminded me of one of the villains from Fear Street.
Which you just watched recently, yeah.
Which I was like, it was just so goofy. It was like, why would you, it's one of those movie like cross promotions that like makes me wonder why.
Yes, like who's benefiting from this really?
It was like the zombie lumberjack match.
Oh my god, please! That was worth it happening just so it exists because it was so.
Also,
stupid.
the fact that like Miz and Morrison get like eaten at the end.
Morrison should be dead, I think, right? He was eaten by zombies, or I guess he's undead, whatever it is, whatever the right word is.
But I mean, like, well, he was dead, but then he just came back, and it's like pretty deadly. Technically, Kate Wilson shouldn't be walking around. Oh, that's the one thing I would mention from SmackDown is that Kate Wilson does poetry now.
I saw.
It's like, it's dumb but it's like part of the character. It's funny. Obviously, he like gets made fun of in a bit with Truth and Priest.
Yeah.
Priest is clearly breaking character. I don't know if it's because of Wilson or it's probably because of Truth.
Probably.
But he's like reading poetry. He did a poem about Oba. But then it was like he had a poem about Oba. He didn't want to read it because Oba happened to be there, and then Aldis read it. And I saw Kit do like an Instagram post where he had a bunch of different ones. So like I like that they're expanding the character. But I do love me some Kit Wilson.
You do.
Even if it's not the entrance. I mean, the entrance and the theme song is where it's at. But like I'm finding myself enjoying his backstage work more too. Just in general, I think his act it's really enjoyable.
That's your main roster update from us.
Yeah.
Kit Wilson, nothing else.
Kit Wilson.
Eli Knight beat Josh Briggs in a speed tournament. I think it was like 2 minutes and change, and it ended with, or you saw the moonsault.
Moonsault, just the knees.
Knees right to the ribs. Like
what would Taven call it? Just the tip.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I was surprised Briggs. I didn't see news of him being injured because it looked really painful, and I feel bad for Briggs because I think the talented Haas is like a disappearing sort of species, and I really
that's
like
why
it.
I think we like Davis so much.
Like
that's Davis.
And what I mean is like big, naturally strong guys, not necessarily like jacked workout weight room.
Not
dudes.
necessarily a Brian Cage, right? Like
but no,
like a Davis, like
Davis. Briggs is one of them. Like JBL is a classic Haas. Like
you always liked JD Drake.
I did like JD Drake, so I think But it's like they know what they have with him now, and I don't think I think he's right up against his ceiling in NXT. Rightfully so, maybe not, but I think that's where he is.
The
so
speed
anyways,
title also looks small on Jasper Troy.
After that, LaFleur comes down to sort of congratulate Knight because I think they face each other in the finals of this meaningless, pointless, stupid match in this division.
Like I said, you can only do tournaments to build this title.
But a la Kevin Nash killing the cruiserweights, Jasper Troy comes down and destroys both of these guys. So why the hell are we going to believe that either one of them has a chance when he can come down and wipe out both of them in 8 seconds?
Yeah.
So clearly the point is we're making Jasper Troy look strong at the expense of whoever else is around.
Which I still hate him. He's so like...
He was in different gear. I think a different shirt this time when he came out.
His presentation reeks of a lack of effort. It's just like big man, dark
Abyss.
look, big chains.
He's Black Abyss.
That sounds redundant almost.
Almost.
Like I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not in the case that you're using it, but like in the context of the actual words, it is kind of redundant.
So Kalani Jordan attacks Lola Vice backstage, doing further damage to her hand, just as Robert Stone, because he was talking to Vice. Robert Stone has to run off to deal with the aftermath of Keanu Carver taking out a bunch of people, and I think he might have had a weapon in his hand. Speaking of weapon in his hand, we'll get back to that in a minute.
Okay.
And I think Sean Legacy was one of the people he took out because he mentioned something in a brief promo before about that happening. We then get a Dark State promo in ring. They talk about deserving the main event spot, and the Lennox talks about eventually becoming champion, that they've taken over NXT once they took out one of the pillars in Tony D'Angelo.
Pillars.
And then my next note says Cutler should not speak because he spoke and he shouldn't. And then the Culling are basically, they come out and are talking, or they're sitting somewhere, I think it was, and they're talking about basically hunting Dark State. And I added to my notes, Nico Vance probably shouldn't speak either. Again, it's developmental, so I shouldn't be harsh. This is where they're supposed to, I guess, learn. OTM emerged from different aisles in the crowd. I remember Nima saying a bunch of stuff, and I think your guy said a couple things.
I remember Nima saying a bunch of stuff.
Basically, they won't miss twice. This is where you come for the detailed recaps. Right?
This is why we listen.
He said things, and then like Hendry said babyface things, and then but this is, I figure, the attention it deserves. So Hank and Tank come out next. They said they're going to take care of Vanity Project, and then the NXT Tag Team titles are coming back. And I think somebody actually, I forget who, referred to the Culling like, you guys can wait. You guys are happy waiting for the titles, but remember how I was making fun of that?
Yeah, right.
We really do want the titles, just not right now. But we do want them, I promise. We want them, just not now. So anyways, everybody's stepping up, I put, so there's lots of brawling going on. And then Tony D'Angelo is just in the ring. He takes out, I don't think all the members of Dark State, but a couple of them, and he stands tall. And then in a little bit, we find out Stone's decision is OTM, Hank and Tank, the Culling, whoever wins gets an NXT tag title match in Atlanta. So I appreciate that there is a tag division. I know there is. It gets attention every week right now. This is basically like the AEW main title story, but for tag teams in a developmental. Like, they all just want the tag title. At least
tag teams are getting that somewhere.
Correct. That's exactly how I feel. This new Tony D is not really grabbing my attention, and I don't think it helps that, like, Dark State are his first target because they're not nearly as established as I think.
They either want them to be or think they are.
Exactly. Either think they are or we're hoping they would be just by this point.
In any event, yeah.
And I texted you, Shiloh Hill with a machete and a hockey mask in Robert Stone's office. So we are not dropping the whole, like, he's a horror guy or a psycho or something.
Potentially, like, unwell.
And Ethan Page comes in. He wants to sort of have another title defense because I think it'll get him to the all-time record for defenses.
I was like, oh, he wants to have another defense?
And
that makes sense.
And so it will be Hill and Page. And obviously Page is acting somewhat afraid of Hill because he's a loose cannon with a hockey mask and a machete. So that kind of makes sense. And then the only other thing was the main event. And that was Joe Hendry, as you would expect, beating Jackson Drake in 11 minutes in the main event to retain the NXT title. I thought a solid match. Drake's going to have a bright future, right? Again, he is not an NIL guy. He's a wrestler who has just been wrestling for a while, even though he's really, I think he's 23 or something, right?
He is young, yeah.
I'm not always the biggest fan of Hendry in ring, but because Drake is a little bit leaner and smaller, the power game of Hendry kind of played well with that, right? So, and Swipe Right did get involved, although it feels like they're dropping that name. They're just Vanity Project.
I noticed that as well.
But because I can't ever remember the names of the Swipe Right.
Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes.
Ricky Smokes is the one that Hendry made his girlfriend disappear because
Brad Baylor's the blonde one.
He referred to that. Easier. Yeah, he looks like he's like 16 years old.
Yes.
So they
apparently my friend knows him.
They get involved, get ejected. Hendry wins with the standing ovation. So a solid main event, but nothing spectacular. And I think that's it, man. Because I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna look up any Raw this week because I don't care, and I don't think it's gonna change anything.
The only thing that was interesting was that Javon spot. That was insane.
We have so few listeners that we're not going to lose any. I don't think that. Oh yeah, I heard he just had a crazy huge cutter,
perfectly timed. Like if
I still haven't seen it.
Coming from one corner, he's coming from here, and he perfectly. It was pretty perfect. But like I saw someone make this point, and they're kind of right. It was like Javon, he does all these cool flippy and high spot things. But this crowd, these fans are so conditioned to hate that kind of wrestling.
I know.
That how could Javon possibly thrive in there when it's if that kind of stuff was happening in AEW, it's oh, we hate it. It's it's trash wrestling, or it's spot fest, whatever. But it's so then these
see Ray Phoenix,
right? These fans aren't conditioned to Didn't I think Phoenix's job to trick again?
Right.
They're not conditioned for that kind of wrestling, so it's he did get a decent reaction, but I feel like he'd be getting so much better reactions in NXT or AEW.
They've trained the fans, and maybe intentionally, that there's a ceiling to this style, right? You will be an entertaining, hey, awesome.
Or this style is lesser than sports entertainment.
When Rumble comes around, we'll come up with a non-elimination spot for you. You know
apparently
what I mean?
Apparently, I think he turned it down because he didn't want to be the new Kofi.
Right.
Which, of course, that's how they would see him.
Of course. So, anyways, I guess we'll finish up here. We'll check out Grand Slam tomorrow morning, and we'll fold that into 292 next week. So until then, everybody, we hope to see you back here. And until then, take care.